Hey, what's going on, everybody? I wanted to make a video about the Bitcoin chart and Bitcoin chart, Pirate chart, a little analysis on Bitcoin and Pirate, and maybe a couple others that are, hot right now. So let's dive right into it. I was looking at the Bitcoin chart last night, and I actually took a little bit of action on it. Let's see, right about here in the evening, um, I was seeing it looked to me like Bitcoin could go down a little bit more. If it's basically what I was seeing was if it hit right here, if Bitcoin came up and hit, just crested over the all-time high 64 going up to 66, hit down, tried to relatively soon after that, tried to, go up again that after it bounced off this spider line, tried to go up again, came back down. Then if it looked like it was starting its, downward path, started like making a downward path. And what I was thinking was, okay, if it's going to come down for a while, then I'd like it. I would like to see it come down quite a bit. So I drew a retracement on it. I drew a fib retracement on it from what I saw to be, the bottom of this run, bottom of this leg here, boom, from here, from this spot. Um, and then I considered that the bottom of this leg all the way through the top to here. And so this is where you might want to draw from someone with more experience on TA. And I'm not saying that I actually, really know what I'm talking about at all. I'm still, experimenting with this stuff, still trying to learn, still trying to just kind of figure it out. And the more I do this, the more I learn that, I mean, the technicals, drawing lines, drawing charts, drawing fib retracements and stuff, those are important, but there's also a fair amount of intuition that goes into this. And intuition doesn't really come without experience, at least that I've seen in life. Intuition doesn't really come without experience. Of course, not to be confused with gut feelings, because your gut will tell you certain things too, and usually it's right. But intuition about where it's going to go, what it's going to do, that takes experience. And at this point, I probably had about maybe, yeah, actually almost a year now, decent, like following the charts in an organized fashion. So anyway, enough about that. Ran up, hit this peak. So that's where I drew this fib retracement. And so we have our golden pocket here down in the 618 down. That's actually below this spider line. So I just don't, I don't know. I don't really see it going down to 49. That's pretty far. I would be, and I drew this red line here. I saw this and I just wanted to make a quick video. I drew this red line here at the 0.5. And it does seem like Bitcoin will do a retracement to the 0.5, but even the 382, and that one's right here, this chart's a bit messy, but it kind of has to be right now. So once we zoom in here, you'll get a better understanding of what I'm looking at here. So I set some buy orders on just above this line, this line, and this line, in case it comes down here. So what this was interesting to me, this guy right here, this candle, because down here is when I took about 25% of profits off the table on my Bitcoin long and ETH long, right about here. So then came up to, and then woke up today. I looked at the charts, of course, look at the YouTube feed, and everybody's like, oh, Bitcoin ran up, whatever. Sheep, Doge, the crypto faces, doing his his magic. And so, that already told me, okay, there's action going on. So I took a look, and we got about a 3 grand candle here. I mean, this is on the daily, so we'll see how it holds. But what was interesting to me was I saw this peak here, and now it's touching this peak again. So I drew this line across here, drew it down to my 0.5 on the fib, and I thought, okay, this might not be the best spot to hop in, but maybe a good spot to take some profits. And now what I actually would like to see is Bitcoin come down, get rejected off this line, and come down even more. I'd like to see it come down even more to this 0.5 level. I'd like to see it come down to here, test or bounce off these lines, and then find support on this line. Let's go ahead and why don't I make this cyan and bigger? That's kind of the lowest that I want to see it. Because also take a look, if it comes down to that spot, that's just a nice little retracement coming on up, retracing back down, and then boom, rocketing back up again. That's what I'd like to see. I don't really want it to rocket back up from this spot right here. I just don't think that's a big enough pullback. This is not a big enough spring, it's not, you're not going low enough to make the jump. It just doesn't look like enough of a pullback to me for it to run up to another 40 grand or so. I think that number 100K is implanted in a lot of people's minds. They want to see that. So if people believe that 100K is where it's going to go, or I see some of these other YouTubers going 200K, 4 million. Once these numbers are implanted into people's minds and they really start to believe it, then people will be buying up until that number. And depending on how many people believe that it's worth 100K, that'll determine the price, in mass. So as far as 100K goes, I really think that at some point it'll hit that. I don't know. And I think that it'll do that during this cycle. I just don't think that 66K is the top here. I don't think, 2 grand above the previous all-time high of 64 is the top. I just don't see it. So what I'd like to see now that we're coming back down a little bit, I want to see it come down a bit more, maybe to this 0.5, but I'd be okay with the 382. And then, then I'd be confident, okay, we're heading back up. Momentum's going back up. All right. So 8 minutes. Let's go ahead and take a little bit look at ETH. And so this is going to be the same thing with the spider lines here. This leg, I consider this one move here. That we get a line under this. When people are trading against this stuff, it looks like, it came down, touched this line. But what I am mostly looking at is these spider lines. I have faith in these things. So coming up, touching this line, and looks like he's getting a little bit of a rejection off of it. Keeps coming up, testing it, getting a little bit of rejection off of it. What I'd like to see is it popping up over this like it did here, coming down, testing it again. And then once we're in here, once we're in this spot, we're going up to this next spider line. I think so. It's just what I think. A lot of people are saying they think, ETH should be worth 6 grand or something. I know a lot of people are throwing out numbers like 20K or 15K and stuff. And that's great. That's just not what I use. I believe in these spider lines. I think there's something particular about them that is just not totally. There's just I don't know. There's just something about it that I believe in, and it seems to work out. So anyway, there's ETH. And I'm taking another look at pirate train. And so I say it like that because, I mean, look, we had this run up here, down, 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 saunter, like up, down, up, down, up, down, but generally just like pittering off. Um, you know, it's almost like I'm like, okay, what do we think about pirate right now? But as far as the chart goes, when we're looking at market cipher against pirate chain is a pirate chain against a dollar, we have a low here. Let's take a look at the weekly, give a little better, overall big picture look at what we're talking about. I just drew this on here because I just wanted to see what that trajectory was looking like. I wanted to see what these tops were. I just wanted to draw a line on it. That's all. Like, there's nothing really special about that. But anyway, we came down, hit a floor here, 1.8, and here we came back down, bouncing off that 1.8. But now we've broken through that down to 1.5. So the question is, are we going to see pirate? Are we going to see energy come back into pirate? And how much? What's going on with pirate? That's the question. I know. I'd be very interested to learn more about it. But there's not as much attention on pirate as, say, Bitcoin. I can gain a lot of insight about what's going on with Bitcoin just by watching just little snippets of people's videos. Like, I get a feel of what the market is doing by watching BitBoy's videos. I get a feel of the market watching Chris Crypto's video, or I get a feel of it watching. Honestly, I don't really get as strong of a feeling about the market just in general watching Crypto Face's videos, because he has this sense for the pumps. Like, he's a great trader. He has a sense for these pumps, regardless of where the whole market is going. He doesn't even really care, and that's what I think is so genius about his style, is that, it's kind of like a pure intuitive style, but of course he uses market cipher too. But yeah, he's really dialed into these pumps, and it's cool to watch. Anyway, there's pirate. I just really like to see pirate go. I like privacy coins. As far as Taproot goes with Bitcoin, I haven't delved into it a ton to look at it, but something tells me that it's not true privacy. I don't know. I'm just speculating here. But yeah, Bitcoin and ETH. So my plan for Bitcoin is I would like it to come down a bit more before it shoots up again. ETH is pretty much, I haven't totally figured out the relationship between Bitcoin and ETH. ETH behaves a little bit differently, but yeah, I'm not totally sure about it. Of course, the spider lines on both are important. My buddy last night, he doesn't do any trading or anything, and I was like, dude, check out Shiba, it's crazy. And then we bought some Shiba. What did I want to look at? Doggy coin here, Doge. Doge. All right, we got it's funny. Last night, Cryptos R Us was like, Doge is dead, and Shiba killed it. Shiba flipped Doge. And then today, when did this candle start? I guess, not a huge move, right? Not like up to friggin' 70 cents, right? But came down. That was last night. When did this candle start? When did this run start? I guess you could consider it at 10 o'clock last night. This candle started running up for the daily on Doge. And then there's 11. Get a little more action. Then boom, boom, up to here. A bunch of people taking profits off of that. But then it, boom, rocketed up again. But then strike back down. Now we're oscillating, trying to find a spot, deciding whether or not we want to go back down. So is it pumping up? I don't know. But interesting to see how money has flown into Doge just in the span of a few hours. And even just after YouTubers were saying it was dead. They're saying Elon, doesn't have any impact. I don't know. It's hard to say. And that's kind of what's fun about this game is that, it is a game. And you don't know all the players in it. But like, this is the board. Here's the board. That's the board, and that's all you really have to work with, and you try to get all this information that you can, and you use your best judgment to figure out what's going on. It's a really, really cool game. And then Matic. That was when I hopped in just because of the fundamental. Honestly, really just because Crypto's RS was talking about it, and I think he's good about checking out fundamentals and stuff. So anyway, that's what you got. That's what you got. Bitcoin. That's on the hour. So yeah. When we look at market Cipher, obviously on the hour, we have these. That's what's kind of cool about it is that you got, you can see like the momentum trend happening before, or at least concurrently with, what the price is doing, and then here we're just looking at a divergence, right? So we're seeing momentum come down and flow up while price is coming down, kind of bottoming out. Here, if we're seeing money flow start to increase at this point, and then right around here, if you're a genius, you would have hopped in it. Well, I think Crypto Face did, so that's he is a freaking genius. So, and then up to this line. Is it going to hold it? Is it going to hold it back? I don't know. It's Thursday. Tomorrow's Friday. Usually, stuff seems like it starts to heat up around this time of the week. There, they got a little red dot on the hour. So will it hold against it? Will it get rejected off of it? I don't know. We got some red on the 4, not as significant as the daily here. And I really kind of just stick with the dailies, because I'm looking at, the bigger trend here. So anyway, let's recap. We hit 66, rejected down off of it, found a little support at the 59 level, this spider line, in other words, came up, hit the red line, hit this line here, hit this spot, because we didn't have a line here yet, came down 58 level. So, as far as market structure goes, that's a low. Here's another low, a lower low. We had a high, a lower high. And if this gets rejected off this line, that's another lower high, and so we could expect it possibly to go down a little more. So that's and also, that's what I'd like to see. I'd like to see it come back a bit more, so it could settle down at some of these lines around here, and then shoot up. Okay, last thing, I promise. What also is nice about Bitcoin coming down is that it injects fear into the market. And when fear is injected into the market, a lot of the altcoins will sell off. Also, Bitcoin's selling off. It's like people's confidence in crypto starts to sell off. And then the first ones to go are the alts, with the exception of a few. Solana, Shiba recently. But I mean, there's a lot of attention in crypto right now, so it's kind of to be expected. But when Bitcoin pulls back like this, like let's say we get a rejection off this down, you're gonna see videos like, "Oh, emergency, whatever," and people are gonna get shook a little bit, and that's good because that creates more fear in the market. And if we believe in Bitcoin, if we believe in crypto in general, then that's good, because that gives us an opportunity to get in while prices are going down. Why the prices are going down, I don't know. There's more factors here than I am aware of, but that's what makes sense to me. So that's what I want to see. I want to see it come down a bit so that it has enough of a spring, like it has enough of it pushes the spring back. The spring is extended. Boom. If it's coming back now, that's all the potential energy this run had. And boom. The spring is extended. It came back, the spring's coming back. It needs to get compressed again before it can go back. So I want to see it compressed pretty far, but not to the point of breaking. So that's that. That is that. Longer video. I mostly, I'm you're gonna watch it if you want, right? Stick with it if you want. Not really my place to do this, to decide what you want to do, right? So, okay. Have a great day.